guys, welcome back to my channel. Today it is a very exciting video as the weather is getting colder, the leaves are getting crispy and changing colors. I figured this was the perfect time to do a little reading challenge where I read spooky books for an entire week. One thing about me, I love a little spooky season. I love thrillers, I love mysteries and everything that kind of has like that creepy, eerie kind of vibe, especially when it comes to books. I literally just posted my last video was tier ranking every single thriller that I've read this year because there's just like been so many that there's enough for me to tier rank them. So if you haven't checked that out, please check it out. But for today's video, we're gonna be starting a little reading vlog that I'm gonna be reading. Is called The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This book and the Natural series as a whole have just been so highly rated by people on Goodreads, book influencers that I follow, people that I know personally. Like everybody loves the series. This is one where the series gets better with every book from what I've heard. So I am so freaking excited to finally be reading this. If you guys have been keeping up with my recent videos, number one, thank you so much. I love you, I appreciate you, and also just want to say a big thank you for all the new subs and all the likes that I've got on my recent videos. It really just like warms my heart to know the little book community is growing, and it feels so nice to finally have a platform to talk about books, because when I tell you, basically nobody in my real personal life cares about books, reads books, so it's so nice to finally have a platform to just be able to yap about books non-stop. So if you've joined this community, thank you so much, I appreciate it. But back to the point that I was trying to get at, I recently mentioned in a vlog that I actually started reading the Natural series I think a couple months ago, but then I lent my Kindle away to my sister for a little bit because she was going on a trip, and I basically was forced to DNF the book. So I'm so excited to finally have my Kindle back and be able to get back into the story. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. So that being said, let's get into it. If you haven't already dropped a like, please drop a like on this video. It helps me out a lot. Same thing as commenting on the video. You can comment whatever you want. You can comment your current read, or if you have a thriller or mystery book suggestions, because obviously I'm always looking to add more books to my TBR. But also please consider subscribing. I would love to have you, and without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so now you might be wondering why I'm starting this video in my car, and the reason for that is because I have come to a little coffee shop. Coffee shops are one of my favorite places to sit and just read. I feel like it's kind of giving mysterious and like cool, but like all of that aside, it's actually like such a fun vibe to just go to a coffee shop, get out of the house, get out of your room, especially during this time of the year where it's getting a little bit chilly. So I'm gonna go to a coffee shop, order myself a nice little drink, a nice little hot mocha probably, and do some reading. So let's get into it.
She was 17 with a dream of finding love again, and put her heart in the arms of someone new. He took advantage of her light, but it wasn't enough, so he ran and left her in the dark without a clue. Oh, 18 and her life is on the line again. She's popping pills with her friends and sneaking out. She knows that she's wasting all the time with him. She can't picture him not being around. She said, so why can't we feel something different? We just need to close that distance. Bring me close to you. Don't let go, don't let go. And I hate finding new beginnings. Let's just make toxic commitments. I'm not over you. I can't let go.
Hello, I'm here to talk about The Naturals. I finished this book. This is book 1 of the Natural series, if you guys don't know, and I finished it late last night, and I wanted to film my reaction right away, but it was literally pitch black outside and the lighting was just like horrendous. So I knew that I had to wait so this can get its proper moment. If you guys saw my most recent reading vlog, which was like a 24-hour readathon challenge, I was talking about how I wanted to get back into reading this because I had started reading this book and I was obsessed with it. I was loving it, and then I decided to lend my Kindle away to my sister because she was going on a trip to Europe and she couldn't bring a lot of different books, like physical books, with her. So I was like, sure, you can have it. She's only gone for a little bit. But then when she came back, I was kind of like already reading other stuff, so I didn't immediately start reading the book again, and I feel like I literally forgot everything that happened in it, which I guess was a blessing in disguise because I picked up exactly where I left off, and I was so freaking confused, and I just knew that I had to go all the way to the beginning and reread the whole thing. And at first I was kind of bummed. I even said in that video that I felt like it was just kind of like a waste of like time and energy and like all the progress that I had made in the book, because I made it probably like 70% of the way into this book before I was forced to DNF it. But when I tell you, I am so freaking glad, because in the last day and a half I literally binged this entire book. I am obsessed with it. I loved it. If you guys happen to live under a rock, if you've never heard of the series, this is the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and it's basically a mix of like YA true crime mixed with Criminal Minds. Like that's literally how I would describe it. So it follows these teenagers that all have like their own little special abilities. So some of them are like naturally good at profiling people, some of them are just like naturally good at memorizing a lot of statistics, definitions, and just like any kind of information like this. One of them is literally like a living lie detector, so she has the ability to tell when people are lying. Basically all those kids with the special abilities get recruited by the FBI to work on cold cases. So this book follows our main character Cassie, who gets picked up by the FBI to work with them and join the Naturals program. I absolutely loved all the characters and how they all have like their own distinct style and personality, and it's not just like their abilities that make them different. The interesting dynamics that are within the group as well, I thought were like so freaking cool. And the love triangle, oh my gosh. Usually I'm a love triangle hater to my core. Like I hate when in books there's a love triangle, because like there's no really like clear choice, and the way that I picture it, like a romance, I'm just like kind of like a hopeless romantic. So how I want romances to pan out is like they see you and they're like dead set on you, and like there's no one else. It is like another option. But in this book it's just done so well. Both the guy love interest, they're just like so cool and unique, and like I love both of them for their own personalities, and they're just like so different. Like on one side you have Michael, so sweet and so flirty and so fun, and like you can tell that he really cares about her. And on the other side you have Dean, and Dean is like more quiet, very reserved, like has his own demons, doesn't really like let anybody in. So then you have kind of like the grumpy, like reserved kind of personality as well, versus like the golden retriever personality. And I'm just like, I love both of them. So the whole time I'm just like wondering how it's gonna go with the love triangle, because like in one scene I'm reading about one of them and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is clearly the better choice, and like look at all this chemistry and look how they're bonding, look at their connection. And then 2 chapters later she'll have a moment with the other one, totally different kind of moment, but it's still like a connection. It's still like the spark that you're looking for in a romance. And I'm just like, how is this gonna end? Like I'm just like at the edge of my seat. Also, I had a whole other aspect that was like kind of like a mystery. A bunch of different cases kind of get intertwined. So I just love like this entire plot. I love the big twist. I love the characters. I love the attention to detail. I try to like force myself to stay away from true crime because it kind of like freaks me out and gives me like anxiety knowing that this is like real life. But I love to like eat it up like in TV shows. Criminal Minds is one of my favorite shows of all time. I've watched the entire thing and I just like love it. So if you love Criminal Minds, I think you're gonna absolutely love this book. So definitely read it. As soon as I finished it, I started reading the sequel and I was like, no wait, I can't read the sequel because I kind of want to savor it. Even though I was like so attached to the characters and so attached to the story, I just wanted it to continue. But I was like, no, I have other books that I need to film for this video, so like let me take a little break. So I'm taking a break, even though I don't want to. It's just like, it's that good. 5 stars, immediately 5 stars, like, not even a second thought. And it makes sense, like once you get to the acknowledgements, I found out that the author has like a PhD and she's like a university professor, so she knows all about like psychology. And while writing this book, she talks to other FBI agents and read a lot of their work and stuff like that to truly kind of get in the mind of a profiler and to truly get in the mind of what those cases are like. And it's just so well thought out, so smart. I just loved it, ate it up. Please read this. Anyways, I feel like I've been babbling for way too long, but now we're gonna move on to our next book. This is another book that I've been kind of dying to get into. I feel like so many people have loved this book and I just keep hearing amazing things. So the book that we're going to be getting into is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I have never read anything by Riley Sager. I feel like when a lot of people think of thrillers and kind of like the whole murder mystery, like spooky book, a lot of people always recommend his work. So I'm very excited. I've also like heard so many of his other books, like right at the beginning it has like some of his other books. And I already have heard of so many of them because they're just like so popular. Oh my god, this is so creepy. Like the first page, I just literally just opened it and like, why is it creepy already? Alright. Let's get into it. first chapter already has a plot twist. What do you mean? Hello, I am in one of my absolute favorite places ever to read, and that is my car. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just like so underrated. Like, it's comfortable, it's warm, you can drive like anywhere. You can just go to kind of like any scenic little place, and right now for me it's like the perfect time to watch like a little sunset going on right in front of me, so it's like literally perfect. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna read. I'm currently reading The House Across the Lake. I am hooked. Like, this book right from the first chapter just had like the biggest plot twist ever. I'm just like, I'm sorry, like what the just happened, and it has just kind of like kept going. I'm like so intrigued. Like, I love when books go straight into the action, straight into the plot, no boring blah blah blah. Oh my gosh, hello, my name is, like, I don't care what your name is. What I care is something cool and fun happening, because it just like literally puts you right into the story, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I've been absolutely loving just reading anything that is like murder mystery, like true crime, anything kind of like that. It's just literally the perfect time for it. Like, now that the weather is getting colder, everyone's wearing more hoodies, more sweater weather, it's like a little bit chilly. It's like the perfect time to read those like mysteries, those thrillers and everything like that. So I'm absolutely eating them up. I have so many that I still need to read. Every time I take a break from reading and go on TikTok or go on Instagram or like any of my social medias, which by the way you should follow if you haven't already, I just like see a new suggestion and I'm like, god, like my never ending TBR, like somebody needs to stop me. Somebody needs to tell me to just read all the books that I have instead of getting inspired to go book shopping, because I'm really trying to kind of stay true to my book buying ban. I feel like I've done a lot of damage in the book buying department recently. So I definitely still need my little break. I definitely still need to just like work on the books that I have and work on the books that I have on my Kindle and everything like that before I go buying new books again. So anyways, I'm gonna go read, but this is a really fun vibe. I love reading in my car. If you haven't read in your car, I definitely recommend it.
Mamacita, vámonos de fiesta. Y ahora en mi corazón tú estás. Y ya no quiero a nadie más. Contigo me quiero pasarla. Mamacita, vámonos de fiesta. Desde que te vi, buscaba una así. Desde que te vi, buscaba una así. Y por fin te conseguí.
Hello, it is the next day and I have officially finished The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This was my first time reading anything by this author, and I know he's like super well known in the thriller slash mystery kind of like reading community. I know there's a lot of his books that are very well loved, and even at the top here it says an undownputtable page turner by Clémence Michallon. This was the guy that wrote The Silent Patient, so obviously very well loved, but I'm a little conflicted. Maybe it is because I went into it thinking it was gonna be a 5-star read, but there was like certain parts that I just like didn't necessarily vibe with. Overall, I think the story was pretty good. The premise was pretty interesting, nothing unheard of. Like, you have the nosy neighbor just like spying with binoculars across the street. I feel like that concept and that trope has been done, and then adding in the fact that she is an alcoholic and drinks every single day, making her kind of like unreliable. I thought that was like an interesting touch. However, literally like 90% of this book took place from the exact same location, so it kind of felt like a little bit slow moving. Like, okay, today I'm gonna wake up and drink inspire my neighbors, and then I'm gonna drink some more, inspire my neighbors some more, and then, oh, I see something, what could that mean? And then I'm gonna drink some more, inspire some more. Like, it was kind of like repetitive in a sense. Like, I would have liked to see her kind of maybe go out into the town or talk to different characters or do different things. Like, I did not love the fact that the entire plot was literally just taking place on her house and on this lake. But then I got more into it because there's like a whole past and present timeline. One thing I did not like is the chapters, because she'll be like, now, and then we get like 2 pages and it's like, great, and then it goes past and it takes you to this past timeline, and tell me why one chapter is literally an hour and 20 minutes. Like, be so for real, please. Like, I literally posted a TikTok about this and I was like, maybe I left my Kindle on and it's like adjusting. Even on the audiobook, literally like an hour long. I'm like, what if I have to take a break? What if I need to like chill out? Granted, I did listen to this in basically like one go, and then I went to bed and woke up and read the rest of it basically in one go, so I didn't really take breaks. But it's like, what if I had read this like on a busy work day or something? Like, you just have to stop in the middle of a chapter. I don't like that. I hate long chapters. And then I got into the story. I kind of like the middle of it. They're going around looking for clues, trying to figure out what happened, what the mystery is, like who's sus and all of that. I thought that was like a nice little touch. But then at a freaking 70% of the way in, the whole book just took like a 180, and I don't know how to explain this without like spoiling something, because it's like a big spoiler, so I'm not gonna say it. But it just like, I don't know, I really like wasn't expecting that. I don't even know if I like how it fits into the story or what. It was definitely like a big shocker. I was shocked. I just don't know if it was like a good kind of shock to where it's like, you know, like a satisfying continuation. And then at the end you're like, okay, great, this like makes sense, the whole story's wrapped up. But then you do like another 180 and it's like, oh no, wait, there's like a whole third part to this, when now there's like just more stuff going on. Like, I'm trying not to spoil anything, so it's hard to explain what I'm talking about, but it was just kind of all over the place. It was just like slow and slow and slow, and then out of nowhere at like 70% of the way in, it's like, bam, this thing that you were for sure 100% not expecting. Nobody could have predicted that. And then you're like, okay, well, let's see how this fits into the story. And then you sort it out and like so much stuff happens, and then like you think you're down and you're like, great, and then bam, another thing that you were also just like possibly like not expecting. I'm just like, what is going on? I don't know why we had to shove so much of the action in the last like 20%. Anyways, overall I thought it was pretty good. I sound like I'm a hater. I'm not trying to be a hater. I did enjoy it. I thought it was fun. Interesting concept, interesting plot twist. I did not see that coming at all. And then like interesting resolution and all of that. Like, it was good. It was a good read. It was an enjoyable read. Obviously I didn't DNF it. Obviously I listened / read through it in literally less than 24 hours. So don't think I'm like disliking it. I'm just bringing up a couple points of things that I did not love about it, which is why it's not rated 5 stars. I think my final rating for this is gonna be probably something like maybe like 3.75 or 4. So anyways, that is it with this book. But now it's time to move on to our next one, which is The Quiet Tenant. This one, I honestly have never heard anyone talk about it online or anything. I haven't had anyone recommend it. I was just walking through a bookstore. I think it was like, it's in a book shopping vlog from like months ago, and I saw it and I was like, okay, I guess I'll buy it. It's just kind of trippy. So I went and I paid for this $25, and then the next day I go to a thrift store and I find this. Somebody had donated it in like pristine freaking condition for like $2. So I just went and returned the other one. I was like, I'm not about to pay $25 when I can just buy this for $2. So anyways, this is your sign to check your thrift stores and check your libraries, because it's been great recently not having to buy every single book I'm interested in reading. It seems like it's gonna be very spooky, and since this is a video where I'm trying to read like really spooky books going into freaking Halloween week and all of that, I feel like this is the perfect time to get into it. As you can see, I already started. I'm about this much of the way in, which is not that long, but also like a lot has happened and we have learned a lot. So I don't know, it's very fast paced. I don't know what they're gonna do with the rest of the plot, because like we're already going through so much. This book basically follows the story of this guy, and his name is Aiden Thomas, and he's a family man. He's like a good father figure. He's very big part of his town. Everybody knows him, everybody loves him. He's very friendly and all of that in New York. However, he has a little secret, and his little secret is that he likes to kidnap an unalive woman, and he has already done that many times. He according to the back, has killed 8 women, and there's a 9th, Rachel, that is imprisoned in his backyard. So Rachel has been literally kidnapped and just like living in a little shed in his backyard this entire time. However, this all changes when he has to sell his house and move out, and he decides to bring Rachel, the girl that's kidnapped, with him into his new house to basically live with him, and also his daughter. She's just gonna be the quiet tenant. She's gonna be basically locked in her room 24/7 and live with them. How freaking trippy. But she's been kidnapped for so long that he is counting on the fact that she's brainwashed enough to literally not try to escape, to not try to seek help. Then you bring in a 3rd woman whose name is Emily, and she's like this business owner from a local little business that lives in the town, and she's intrigued by him. She thinks he's attractive and all of that. So she starts kind of getting involved in his life, and this book is told from the perspectives of not Aiden, but it's told from the perspectives of Rachel, who's the kidnapped girl, Emily, the business owner, and his daughter Cecilia. How trippy is that? Seems scary as I'm so excited. I'm really excited to read it, especially because it's told from those 3 perspectives. I feel like usually you get like just like the kidnapped girl's perspective and maybe like Aiden's perspective or what, but this is gonna be so interesting because each of them have seen like a different version of him. Obviously his daughter sees like the fatherly figure, like the nice single dad, always present, always doing the most. And the one from the town, Emily, she sees a whole different picture, basically how he presents himself in public. And then Rachel does not see any of that. She just sees like the monster version of him that has her kidnapped for 5 years. So this is gonna be really interesting. I cannot wait to read more into it. I'm currently on page 59, just before chapter 14, so I'm gonna do a little bit more of the reading and I'll be back with more updates later. Hello, it has been a while. Sorry, I don't know why my camera has these like lines every time I film a night, but I have been reading. I'm about a third of the way in, which doesn't look like a lot, but I'm kind of a slow reader, okay? So I'm 121 pages in, and this book is making me feel so icky. I don't know. I have like the hairs at the back of my neck, just like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like knowing that this guy is like awful. We get the perspectives of women that think that he's just like not an awful person. It's just like such a weird feeling because like I already know. So getting to read about the perspective of the girl that has a crush on him and they're just like texting and flirting, it's like that is gross. Like I hate that. I wish I could go get into this book and like warn this girl, because it's like, imagine like you're just, well, don't imagine because it's just gonna give you anxiety. I just think that that's terrifying, the fact that you literally like could never know. And these books, obviously, like, it's a thriller, it's meant to make you anxious and make you feel unsure, but like I hate it. I hate that this girl does not know what this guy is like. I hate that his daughter speaks so highly of him because she's so young and she has no idea that her dad is a killer and that he has literally like a kidnapped woman in their own house, and like they're interacting together, and it's just like makes me sick. Not a very fun read. It is a thriller. I think this is why I don't read the same genres, especially thrillers, back to back to back, especially if they're like heavier topics, kind of like this. Like if it's like a silly murder mystery, that's one thing. If like the main character is kind of like dumb and like makes questionable choices, then it kind of has that like almost like comical element that scary movies do, where like they are running away from the killer and instead of just going out the front door that's unlocked, they just like run upstairs. Like it kind of feels like that. But books like this, it actually like feels like hyper I just jumped because my light moved. Oh my god, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm so on edge from just reading these thrillers, and it is not good. I just want to finish this challenge and go read a romance novel. I think literally my next video is gonna be reading like a fun, fluffy romance, anything else that's just like not a thriller, because I am losing it. I'm so on edge, and like I hate it. I feel like I've just like for the last week I've just been reading about men being sick and twisted and terrible, which, you know, some of them are in real life also, but it just like it gives me so much anxiety. I just want to finish this book. I want to finish this challenge. I just don't feel good, but you know, it's fine. It is spooky season. That's what spooky season is for. I just get spooked rather easily, I think. So the fact that I've had to endure all of this, and like it's been like books back to back. I haven't done literally anything else. Like I haven't taken a break or like read anything on the side. Like I'm not reading anything for fun outside of this video. So it has literally just been consuming back to back to back books about terrible people. So it's just like an uneasy feeling, a little bit of anxiety, a little bit paranoid, a little bit on edge for sure. Excited to finish this book and just put it past me. That's not to say that it's not good. Like, it's good for a thriller, and I like the plot, and I think it's interesting, and it's like such a unique take. Like normally thrillers are not told from these like perspectives, I guess. So it's like, it's a good book, like don't get me wrong. It's just, it's too good at doing its job, which is to spook the readers and put you in an uneasy mood, that I'm just like I love it, but I hate it, you know what I mean? Anyways, that's how I feel right now. So I'm gonna go read some more, and I'll be back with another update. Good morning, it is the next day, and I'm finally done with this book. And I'm saying that not in a bad way, that like I'm finally done, but I read this entire thing basically in one sitting, and by the end of it I was just like so on edge and so anxious and just like freaked out. As soon as I was done, I was like, oh my god, I cannot wait to read a fluffy little romance next. I think the last update that I gave on this book is pretty much accurate for representing how the rest of the book went, because all of it was kind of like the same kind of vibe. Very spooky, very eerie, very just like not feel good to like read about, if that makes sense. I loved learning about her past life and like what life was like for her before she got kidnapped. I also like learning about how she had learned to like adapt to the situation, how she was like taking mental notes on how to survive. And it was very interesting to see how even when given the opportunity, she still did not run. And obviously, like as the reader, you're like, girl, like this is your chance. Like you've been held captive for like 5 years, this is your chance to run. Anytime there was some sort of opening, I was like, no plan, no nothing, just wing it, just like run out and hope for the best. It was just like really interesting to see her train of thought, and I was really rooting for her. We get to hear about her parents, we get to hear about her ex-boyfriend and like her friends and stuff like that, like the life before. And it is so interesting to see. I got so invested in her, and I wanted her to freaking escape. I did feel like the ending was a little bit rushed. I don't really know why. I just like, I wish that it had taken some of the page count from like the middle and put it more towards the ending. And that's another thing that I noticed. Like I feel like this did not need to be as many pages as it was. Like when I was reading it, I was like, oh my god, like how is this only 300 pages? Like it does not feel like it's 300 pages. I was just like reading and reading and reading, and like I was making no progress, it felt like, because there's just like so many like descriptive words, and it's not even like useful descriptive. It's just kind of like a bunch of like analogies, a bunch of random comparisons where nothing happens, nothing really is just being explained. It's like when you're trying to hit your word count on an essay, like that's what it kind of felt like for some parts. You have like 300 pages of text but only 200 pages of plot, so like the rest of it is just like yapping. Anyways, I don't know, that's like my only little critique of this book. It was definitely interesting. I think I'm gonna give it maybe 3.5 stars. And perhaps I'm being too harsh with this book because I've just been reading thrillers non-stop. Like I read thrillers this entire week, and then before I filmed this video, I filmed a 24-hour readathon. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. A lot of you are loving it, so thank you for that. But even in that video, it was a 24-hour readathon at a random cabin in some random small town, and even then I read thrillers. So the last like 5 books that I've read have just been thrillers, and I think I'm just getting to a point where I'm just like bored in a way, seeing the same themes over and over again, the same topics over and over again. So I think maybe that's why I was a little impatient, but overall pretty interesting. It's just not one of those books that's gonna make you feel good. Like I just feel sadness from it, because like you really get into the head of the girl that's kidnapped, and you're just in her head and you hear her process different things over the course of being kidnapped for 5 years. So it's just kind of like a lot. I'm also kind of an empath, so I'm kind of sensitive, I guess. I don't know, I can only read thrillers for so long, and usually like not the super graphic ones because they just like feel really bad. Anyways, so do I recommend it? If this is your type of thing, sure. It's definitely darker than the other books that I read in this video and also in my last video. So if you're gonna read it, just keep that in mind. But like it wasn't bad. I would say like 3.5, 3.75. It's just like, I don't know. I just don't feel good about it, you know? So anyways, I'm excited to put this video behind me. I really hope you guys enjoyed. My next read, I'm telling you right now, is gonna be a fluffy little romance. Like that's all I need in my life right now. I was thinking about it as soon as I finished this book last night. I already know my next book is gonna be a fluffy little romance because I need a break from all these thrillers. Like I really do. I really do. I just need to go and read about examples where men don't suck. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already dropped a like on this video, please drop a like on this video. If you haven't already subscribed, what are you doing? Please subscribe. I'm on the road to hit my first 1K subscribers, so if you want to help a girl out, that would mean the world to me. And yeah, I post on this channel very often, so definitely keep in touch. My socials are linked below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!